So this is the empty canvas of what the Digital Nest will be. So what we want to do is create an environment where as youth walk in to the space, we're going to hand them a laptop fully loaded with all the software that they need to be creative. There's going to be sofas, there's going to be coffee tables, there's going to be big conference tables. We're actually going to build these 2 back rooms that can become conference rooms that they can check out with really big windows so students could see in and see what they're creating. Drywall space, LCD screens so that they could plug into and show big demos. We take a lot of students on field trips. So we've gone to Google, we've gone to Apple, we've gone to Cisco, Electronic Arts, Plantronics, you name it, we've taken students there. And every time we're coming home from those field trips, we ask the kids, oh, how many of you would want to work here? All their hands go up. I still want to be a lawyer, but I want to do it for Google, or I want to be in marketing, but I want to do it for Plantronics, So those environments, those real hip, cool, innovative, creative spaces really impact our youth. A pivotal moment that really sparked this idea of the Digital Nest was a cold day, the fog rolled in, and I was walking around and I noticed somebody outside of Cabrillo College, and this is the one in downtown Watsonville, sitting outside working on a laptop. She was one of my first students that was in my original program as a 6th grader. And I went up to her, I'm like, hey, what are you doing out here? It's kind of cold and you're sitting outside of Cabrillo working. I'm working on my research paper for one of my classes. And I'm like, well, what are you doing sitting out here on a cold night? She's like, well, I don't have internet at my home. So here she was, this 18-year-old girl, tons of aspirations, one of my best students I've ever had. And yet she's hitting these barriers around opportunities, right? And so she's sitting outside in the cold, plugging her way on her computer when she should be inside somewhere. But she told me, I can't afford Starbucks, so I can't go there. The library is closed. There is nowhere else to go, so I sit outside at Cabrillo and I access the network. What I've come to find out, that was really like the beginning of like, okay, here's the need, right? These kids, these youth, these young adults have access issues. And when I started exploring that, I found a lot of other students with similar stories to this one student. I even have one student that her mom drives her places and they sit outside of insurance companies and tap into networks so that she could do her homework. And this is stories that we find all throughout this community and in many communities around this country as well. The most inspirational part of this is when I see those youth 5 years later, 4 years later that are in college doing well or are in good jobs, or when I bump into a student and they're telling me, oh, you know what, I changed my major, I'm now going into tech, and just for me, those moments are the biggest kind of reward for the work that I do.